Hare Krishna, Bhakti Mala.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hey, how you going?
Good, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's going on? What's been going on?
Chanting, dancing, and feasting. Prabhupada said that's the life of a devotee summed up.
That's right.
Even if we're doing other things, paying bills or whatever, gardening.
One of the Vivekananda Sampradaya, they invite me to come to the class. They are my customers in Bhakti Tree, the Indian people,
okay.
And they got a community of people. They're coming there, and then few monk came as well, ladies monk, but they're on the orange robe, and I went there as well in my kurta pajama, something like that, and then. They were like a very, very depressed, not dancing, not chanting, and they were just saying and and feast is there, but like a very not smiling face, and I'm smiling. Can you imagine? I've been like, hang on a sec, I'm at the funeral or what?
Sorry? We can hear you over at the front desk, and I think it's disturbing some people.
Okay. Can I go somewhere else? Is there any quiet place I can go? No?
Fix up the
corner? Okay. Okay.
Be aware there could be other people trying to read.
All right. I avoid. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. You're getting
It's
too
disturbing people.
With your smiling face.
The thing is, I go in the corner near the toilet, and then I will be less talking. So it's a better. You can only hear. It's a good for me.
Yeah, just talk softly. Just talk softly. If you talk, because others.
You got a bit animated there.
Yeah, you got a bit excited.
And then, you know what? They're talking to me, not to talking. How can that be possible? Then she come and say, thank you. Say, but you don't know my Bhagavad Gita, man. This is the one book, you know what? Eventually you're gonna come and read one day, whether this life or next life.
You're at Ty's Hill Library. You at the TAFE?
I'm on the Cardiff Library.
Oh, Cardiff.
Cardiff. Sometime on Charlestown, sometime Walton, and sometime Mayfield. But the Mayfield is not bad, and then Walton has got a quiet rooms. Quiet.
But then got those little rooms.
Yeah. But I'm away from there, so I was in the Cardiff, and I said, okay, come in this library. But that lady, eventually, she's gonna come and borrow me a Bhagavad Gita one day.
Are you growing your hair, Gulsham?
No, I didn't cut it.
You haven't cut it.
Because this is the difference.
I haven't seen it that long for years.
The thing is, I'm not growing. It's people cut. I didn't grow it purposely. People, they cut purposely. I'm not growing. It's a natural. The difference is I didn't cut. That's all.
Anyway, get back to your story. You were saying about it was like a funeral there, and you were the only happy one.
I took my Bhagavad Gita, and then they were talking about it, and like I said, I was just like, I didn't go. Next time they invite me, I didn't go because I'm a very happy person, chanting, feasting, dancing. And they were very depressed in a face like that, sitting there. And then I said, what happened? Am I in the funeral or something? And then I don't know, maybe their philosophy like that. But somehow I did not enjoy them. But I enjoy the food. Food was great. But then again, there's a... And then I didn't go next time. They invited me and I didn't go. That was like a year ago. And they comes to Bhakti Tree, but they follow the Vivekananda and and they have got a Bhagavad Gita as well. But I don't know what sort of Gita is it. But anyway.
Yeah, if you're not connected with Lord Chaitanya in Kali Yuga, it's not going to go very well. He's the Yuga avatar and he's giving the Yuga Dharma, chanting, dancing and feasting. So if you follow him, then you get his Shakti, his mercy. But if you don't, then you're on your own.
Always. Even if the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, listen, I did change my statement, not dancing, but I can't stop. I still dance. Or, I still feasting. I just like, even when I distributing prasad and as well in the temple, just to be a happy mood and all that. Anyway.
Yes. And like I was saying in the beginning, that's the life of it. Oh, okay.
I still want to hear what you're going to say, Abhay.
Yeah, no, that's good. So that's the life of a devotee, chanting, dancing, and feasting. And even if we're doing other things, like I said, gardening or paying the bills or whatever like that, but in the heart of the sincere devotee, he's always meditating. He or she always meditating on these things. Externally, we're doing so many things, but internally, the devotee's thinking, when will I be with the devotees and we can chant together and dance together and have prasadam together? So always meditating on that, longing for that, feeling separation. I wish I can do like that with the devotees.
Obviously, this lady in the library is not a devotee, definitely. But I
Hello,
wish
Deepa. Hare Krishna.
I wish if I had another Bhagavad Gita on the way out, I'll just give it a present. I'll say, go and read at home. But anyway. How you doing, Deepu?
Hey, Deepa, how did your talk go? Your online talk.
That interfaith one. No, it went very well. I had really good comments at the end of it. And there were it inspired I guess, that some thought, like people were saying, oh, I have to go back and think about this, and so yeah, it was just
good.
Good.
Very good.
Anything you want to share, like in the talk, really, which you think we deserve to know?
Oh no, I mean, I presented last week at an interfaith meeting, and it was just on a very big, I mean, broad. The subject matter is, who are we? Why are we here? What is our purpose? And it just kind of a conversation. There was one lady, she's always, anyway, this lady I have noticed and observed, she always goes off in very weird tangents. And she was like, almost, I don't know what's her background actually, but she went off on a tangent, and she's like, what do you mean? This is going against God. God sent us here to make a kingdom of whatever, a kingdom. So you're saying that what he sent us here to do is wrong, that we have to go back to what? I mean, she was going off on this weird tangent, and I kind of had to I said, okay, let's just pause there. And yeah.
He said the Putin sister came.
But yeah, you'd think someone coming to an interfaith meeting should be a bit open-minded to hear other people's points of view. So it's not very good if she's a bit stuck to her point of view.
She got very like mercenary. Yeah,
that's not very interfaith minded. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Do you present the Bhagavad Gita and things like that, or is it just general? Like,
oh no, this is every week. Like today, there's another speaker. That's because this one is every week they have a meeting, 7:00, and it's so there's different speakers every week.
Today you're not a speaker?
No.
Today, no.
I had last week also.
Do you have any recording?
There should be.
Can you ask him, and then can you put in the group? I want to hear that. I want to listen.
Oh my goodness! No, Alex, I said to Abhay Prabhu, mine is nothing in detail. It's just a very broad.
For people that don't know anything, just plant the seed, a few ideas.
So, but
get them, like you said, get them thinking. They can go back and think about some more things.
Yeah,
that's good. Okay, let's begin by offering respect to Prabhupada. Om Jnana Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master has kindly opened my eyes with a shining torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. That's the mission of the spiritual master, to open up people's eyes. That's what we're doing, trying to open up people's eyes. Our spiritual masters opened our eyes, and then we try to open others' eyes. Opening eyes means giving knowledge. Actually, in the Vedic culture, it's not about understanding things through your eyes, through seeing, but understanding through hearing. That's how we see in Vedic culture, is through our ears, not through our eyes. Actually, the eyes are very hopeless at getting knowledge. Like if you look at the sun and the sky, the examples given, it gives you the wrong knowledge. It looks like a 50-cent piece in the sky. That's the wrong knowledge. How you really find out about how big the sun is by hearing from the scientists or the school or the Vedic philosophy. I heard Prabhupada say this morning, 18,000 times the size of this earth. The sun is 18,000 times the size of the earth. So the eyes give you the wrong knowledge. The real knowledge about the sun is given to you by hearing from the authority. And the best authority is the Vedic authority. Even as we know the scientists get it wrong sometimes, like when they say we come from monkeys in a Big Bang, that's completely wrong. So you got to look for the highest authority. Look for them. The best authority is the Vedic authority. I was hearing Prabhupada say this morning, like Narada Muni, Asita, Devala, that's going to come up very soon. And we can just quickly look at that. 10, 12, and 13, 2 verses together. And this is the verses telling how Arjuna is understanding who Krishna is, that he's the Supreme Person of Godhead, how he's understanding. Because one way he's hearing from Krishna's telling him. So how do you find out about God? The best way is God himself tells you. But that could be a bit risky because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can say that they're God. And are you going to believe them? So it's better if you've got some other exalted personalities that can verify or back up. Okay, this person over Krishna over there, he's saying that he's God. But who else is going to back that up? So as this verse is saying, we can read that. Someone to read English?
12 and 13.
Yeah.
Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sage, such as Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me.
So Krishna is saying that he's God. That's what he says in 10.8, Aham Sarvasya Prabhupada, that he's the source of everything. But then not only Krishna is saying, but all these great Vedic authorities are saying, the first person that created the universe, Lord Brahma. I mean, what better authority can you have than Lord Brahma? The very first person. He's known as Pitamaha. Pita means father. Pitamaha means grandfather. So he's the grandfather of everyone. We all have, this is my father, this is your father, your father, your father. So many fathers, but we have ultimately one grandfather, the source of all fathers, and that's Lord Brahma. And what is Lord Brahma saying? Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govinda, another name of Krishna, is Adi Purusha. Adi means?
Never
First
born.
person.
Adi means
Never
first,
born.
number one.
First, oh, okay.
And Purusha means person. So Brahma is the first person in the universe, but even before the universe, Govinda was there. Even before the universe was created, Govinda was there. Govindam Adi Purusham. And then, so what's Brahma's relationship with Govinda, the first person? Tam aham bhajami. Aham means I. Bhajami means worship. So I worship Govinda, the first person. So he's the greatest authority in the universe, and he's saying that, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be worshipped. And Narada Muni is saying that. And as we talked about last week, in text 6, it talks about the beginning of the universe. How did it all begin? How did the population expand? And it's mentioned here, 7 great sages before them, 4 other great sages, and the Manus, like that, born from
So you reckon there's 8 billion people on the planet. Krishna is responsible for that?
What do you mean responsible?
Means
Responsible in
like
what way?
it's a great growth of 8 billion. It wasn't 8 billion. Second World War was like a nearly 2 and 3 billion, and now it become 8 billion. So Krishna allowed that.
Well, yeah, of course he's allowing it, and Krishna's maintaining everyone. Krishna's maintaining everyone. But people are in their different situations, rich and poor, and in a war zone or whatever like that, a peaceful place, you know, hot place, cold place, whatever, experiencing happiness and distress. That's according to their own karma. And that's not Krishna's responsibility. It's not Krishna's responsibility that someone is in Israel or Palestine or Ukraine or Russia or whatever like that. That's their responsibility according to their desires. You know, Krishna's fulfilled their desires according to their karma like that. So that's their responsibility.
Well, Third
I mean,
World
and
War is
the
about to
reason
begin.
why we're in the material world, which is a place of suffering, is that is because of our own choice, you know, misuse of our own free choice. And Krishna has facilitated that choice. Krishna's facilitated that choice. When the soul wants to be independent from God, wants to enjoy separately from God, then God helps that soul to get what he wants. So, but it's not that God wanted that to happen. It's not that God, you
It's
know.
our will.
Yeah.
That's it's by his design according to our choices
Desire.
or desires. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Even it says like in the Bible, you know, man proposes, God disposes.
Huh.
So man proposes means we desire, and disposes means he makes the arrangement like that.
You got to be
He
careful
makes the
what you
arrangement.
desire.
But you know,
Yeah.
the mind goes all directions by its own. That we don't like. It's hard to control, no?
That's
Very
what
hard to
Arjuna.
control. And that's
That's
the whole
what-
purpose of yoga.
Yeah.
The whole purpose of yoga is to control the mind.
That's what Arjuna says. I can control the wind with my bow and arrow. Cannot control the mind. Abhyasana konte viragina chakrate. And you keep
All these
practicing.
material desires are coming out of the mind, and it's because of those desires that we take next birth, next birth, next birth. It's all because of the desires in the mind. And Krishna's seeing what of our desires coming out of the mind, and then he fulfills those different desires. But that's the cause of our entanglement.
And
Therefore, in the essence of the yoga process, you have to control the mind. You have to pull back those desires, stop those desires, and direct the desires towards pleasing Krishna, towards serving Krishna. And then Krishna will fulfill those desires. Oh, you desire to come back to Godhead and serve me. You desire to surrender to me and engage in my loving service. Okay, you can have that. You know, I give that to you. You know, so as Krishna says, I think it's chapter 6, early on there. Yeah, 5. Chapter 6, 5 and 6. That you know, the mind can be our best friend or our worst enemy.
yeah,
So if you control it,
yeah,
it's your best
that's
friend.
right.
And if
You
it
don't
controls you,
control
it's
it.
your worst enemy. And it's causing you to take birth after birth because of the mind. So that's the mind is the crux.
Yeah.
And therefore we say, you know, this is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So we want to be Krishna conscious means you want to be thinking. You want to be conscious means thinking. So we want to be thinking about Krishna, not thinking about sex, drugs, rock and roll, eat, drink and be merry, and think about opposite sex and so forth, becoming famous and powerful and all these things. Because, you know, according to, you know, what you're thinking about, that's going to determine your next situation, your next birth. But if you're thinking about Krishna, it doesn't mean you're going to become Krishna, but it means you're going to be living with Krishna. You're going to have a relationship with Krishna if you're thinking about Krishna.
Many times the mind, I mean, devotees think that it's Krishna. But their mind is telling them things, but they think it's Krishna.
Yeah, John is saying sometimes we think Krishna's telling us something, but it's the mind telling us. So how do you distinguish? Because Krishna's in our heart, right? So, and the mind is also in the heart. So how do you tell which voice it is, whether it's Krishna's voice or the mind's voice?
It's very easy. You know,
Yeah.
Easy. Okay.
if it's a lusty desire, definitely my mind. And if it's going to the temple, that's a Krishna's will.
But Krishna has given you free will.
Yeah, that's right.
So
but
you are also
No.
choosing.
Yeah,
no?
I know, but Krishna helped me to get there. You know,
Yeah,
if without Krishna's help, I cannot reach to the temple.
No, it's true. If he doesn't
Yeah.
want you to go, you won't be able to go. But
That's
your
right, that's
choice
right.
to go.
Yeah, but like, you know, when I had a lusty desire, is also Krishna helped that too.
I mean,
It
that's a
works in
good
both
point.
ways.
That if it's a clear cut one like that's can be pretty obvious, because the mind is wired for sense gratification. So if the desire is to please one's own senses,
Yeah.
that's definitely the mind.
That's
And
us.
if the desire is to please Krishna's senses,
That's
then that's
Krishna's
Krishna is
desire. Simple.
helping us with that one, helping us
Yeah.
with that one. But even sometimes, what about you might be just desiring to do something for Krishna, but how do you know if it's exactly what Krishna wants? And there, in that situation, then you want to just check it with devotees, you know. Like today, I talked with a very dear friend of mine who I've known for 30 years nearly, 30 years. And he's a bit senior to me. So I take whatever he says very serious in that. So I asked him some questions today, and he gave me some very good advice like that. So you might have an idea, I want to do this, but then for Krishna, but then you can no harm, and it's actually very good to do, to consult with the spiritual master, some, senior devotees or friends like that. And you might have a desire which you think is for Krishna, but it might not actually be what Krishna wants. One story is there, one Indian man, he was very proud to say that before I ever drink tea, I put tulsi leaves in it.
Oh, you've said that
Now,
story.
he was thinking he's pleasing Krishna, but actually that's not what Krishna wants. See, because he lacked, the full knowledge. In his mind, he was thinking this is going to be pleasing to Krishna because Tulsi is very dear to Krishna, so I'm going to put Tulsi in my tea and then drink it. But actually, Krishna doesn't want his devotees to drink tea. So, his desire was favorable, but it wasn't actually what Krishna wants. So bhakti has two criteria. You have to have a favorable attitude, and it also has to be an activity that Krishna wants that. Like that. And both things are together. Like you might be doing something that Krishna wants, but then your attitude's not favorable, and that's not bhakti either. An example of that is Kamsa. Kamsa was thinking about Krishna 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what Krishna wants. But his attitude wasn't what Krishna wants. I want to kill Krishna. I want to kill him before he kills me. So that's not the right attitude. So you got to have both of the things. A favorable attitude, and you're doing something that Krishna wants. We might say, well, I want to build a beautiful Indian style temple with a big tall dome for Krishna in New Zealand, in the far north of New Zealand. Big tall dome like that. And we might say, that Krishna's telling me to do that. But actually, I know that's not what Krishna wants, because Prabhupada said 50 years ago that in New Zealand we should focus on and developing Krishna consciousness by setting up farms and restaurants. That's what Krishna wants. That's what Krishna wants here. And he said similar for Australia also. And that's why we set up the Bhakti Tree, to connect the farm with the restaurant. Because that's what Prabhupada said.
Why not temple? Why not temple? Temple also worship place, and then
you can
Krishna
tell because not many people
there.
come. Not many people come. I mean, like in Auckland, right? Auckland, New Zealand, the biggest place in New Zealand, 2 million people there. It's got a temple room which can fit over 1,000 people, and a
Wow.
tall dome and everything like that.
Yeah,
And
been there.
beautiful pictures every inside and everything like that. Stained glass windows and beautiful deities installed by Prabhupada, everything like that. But most Mongolarities, how many people come?
6.
Yeah, maximum 6 or something.
I was there.
Is that inspiring to go into a room that can fit 1,000 people and there's 6 people in it?
But
No,
then
you feel like, oh, I want to go
this,
back to bed.
even New
Am I in
Gokula
the right
also.
place?
Personal attention from Krishna.
No, but it's in the New Gokula also 4 to 6 people only anyway.
I know. So that's why you don't want to build a big temple. There, it's not so bad because the temple room can only fit 80 people or something. But you try that with a temple room that fits 1,000 people. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. They fill it up on Janmashtami. They overfill it on Janmashtami.
Yes.
But why build that for one day in the year? Better just to build a big pandal, means a big tent, one day in the year, and the rest of the year just have a small basic temple like that. The only place that Prabhupada built a proper temple, means with a high dome and everything like that, was in India.
In India.
In Vrindavan and Mumbai and
Mumbai,
Vrindavan, Mayapur. Because there, the masses of people still have great faith.
Yeah.
Still have great faith in going to a temple and worshipping the deity. But in the West, who cares about going to a temple worshipping the deity?
I was there on the Mumbai, the temple where the Radhanath Maharaj temple is there. It's not a Jew, Chopati. In Mangal Aarti, you would not believe there was at least 200 to 250 people in Mangal Aarti.
Oh, what? But Mayapur is...
Mayapur, I'm talking about
packed up.
Chopati.
Yeah, so that in India it makes sense. So that's what Krishna wants. It's like, makes a lot of sense. But you need an advanced devotee who understands what's the best thing to do in the best situation. And take into account Desha Kala Patra. Desha means what place are we in?
Circumstances.
Kala means what time are we in? And Patra means the circumstances, the people, what are the people like, the circumstances like. So, an advanced devotee who's connected with Krishna can consider all these different things. They, I want to do this for Krishna, but it's a stupid idea. It's not what Krishna wants. So, it's always good to consult with the spiritual master, senior devotees like that. And then one can understand, because the mind is very tricky. The mind is very tricky. And often the deep down reason why we want to make the stupid temple, not really stupid temple, but a stupid idea, why we want to make that temple anyways, because I'm going to be the temple president of it.
Ego.
So there it comes down to the ego,
Well,
we won't come out with that in the open, but deep down, insidiously in our crazy mind, warped mind, I'm going to be the temple president of this beautiful big temple and like that, and it's going to have gold everywhere and everything like that. But we don't care about pleasing Krishna. We just care about ourselves becoming recognized like that. So like there's deep down, desires in the mind for name and fame and recognition and adoration. They're very deep rooted and very tricky like that. So we always want to consult, and therefore it's recommended Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. We should check these 3 things always before we do anything. What the Guru says, and then the Sadhu, the devotees, and then Shastra, the scriptures.
So
and they should all line
we
up.
can see all 3 in the Abhicharan. because you coming from Parampara is like a Guru, and Sadhu, you are a Brahman, and Shastra, you have got a knowledge. So all 3 in you.
Totally.
Simple.
Agreed.
That's right.
No
agreed.
comment.
Well, there you go. How come that Bhakti Mala, she writing down something? She had down.
She's
She's a good student. She's a good
She's
student.
taking shorthand notes, okay? Everything word by word, she'll have it, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
I do write notes, yes.
I heard directly from my spiritual master who heard from Prabhupada that Prabhupada gave the definition of forgetfulness. The definition of forgetfulness is to forget to write it down. Because in Kali Yuga, if you don't write it down, our brain is like a sieve. It will just forget it. Actually, there's one beautiful verse I learnt, which says, Tataschanu dinam dharma satyam socham shamadaya kalena balina rajan nanksyatyayor balam smriti. That's from the 12th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, saying It's talking about the symptoms of Kali Yuga, and this is Shukadeva Goswami telling King Parikshit in the 12th canto that as every day passes in Kali Yuga, 8 things become weakened or destroyed. 8 things. Dharma, religiousness. I mean, people don't give a stuff about God, you know, and don't follow. Even ritualistic, they say, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a Hindu, I'm Muslim, but they don't follow their religion. They're not religious. Religious doesn't mean saying I'm a Christian, I'm a Hindu, I'm Muslim. Religious means you follow the laws of God. Prabhupada said religion means follow the laws of God, like that.
But the number of devotees of ISKCON is increasing all over the world. Yeah, and then Prabhuji says that it's falling. It's not falling because number of ISKCON devotee number is increasing in India as well. I know more and more people getting connect to become a devotee.
Yeah, like I said, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. But you can just look at the broad spectrum. You mentioned 8 billion people. Most of them are godless, and they're just fighting like cats and dogs. And often they're fighting like cats and dogs between so-called religions. Isn't it? Between the Muslims and the Jews, between the Muslims and the Jews, or between the, you know, the Catholics and this other bunch, you know, Protestants
Protestant,
or whatever like that. This isn't religion. It's just a name only. So anyway, so religion is going down. Satyam means truthfulness. Truthfulness is becoming destroyed.
Yeah.
Satyam, Saucham, cleanliness. Cleanliness. Satyam, Saucham. Shama means tolerance.
Forgiveness. Shama
Tolerance
is
and forgiveness. But they're
Yeah.
similar qualities, tolerance,
okay,
forgiveness.
Yes, is the going down.
Daya, mercy, and definitely
Mercy.
mercy is out the window. There's so many animals being killed and so many things.
Yeah.
Kalena Balana Rajan, so this is every day of Kali Yuga is going on. And then Nangshatyayor means destroyed, these things. Ayor means lifespan. Lifespan is going down. Balam means strength, people's strength. And this is the one I was bringing it up for, Smriti, our memory. So the memory is getting reduced like that. So yeah, that's the point. Good on you, Bhakti Mala. Write it down because our memories are reducing.
I'm gonna steal that Bhakti Mala's notes one day.
I've still got notes from when we first started in the
Oh,
room
nice.
in the Bhakti
That's
tree.
nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
go to the YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it.
Shortcut.
Yes.
That's nice.
We are Indian, you know, but we are Deepa and you and me, we're Indian. We shortcut.
We look for the most
But actually,
efficient.
the more senses we engage, it will help us to remember. Like if you want to remember something, you can speak it, see it,
Mhm.
write it, use your hands, use your touch. You know, the more senses, using your touch, your sense of touch, sense of your sight. That's how I learn verses, like the verse I just said to you. How did I learn that verse? I spoke the verse again and again and again. I wrote it down again and again and again. And so I'm using my touch. I know I'm seeing what I'm writing. And then I'm telling it to other people like you. So, you know, the more senses you can use, you hear it, you see it like that, talk
Repeat
about
it,
it,
yeah.
write it. So the more that helps you to remember. And this is a secret of avoiding also a byproduct, Alzheimer's and dementia and all that kind of stuff. The memory is like a muscle. You know, the more you use it, then the more stronger it gets, like that. So this is very good for our intellect. Learning verses, I really encourage everyone to learn verses. It's such an inspiring activity because each one of these verses, like the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Each of these verses from the Shastra is identical with God. You're actually associating with God. by hearing these verses, by reciting these verses, by seeing these
And-
verses. Prabhupada said, just if they read one verse from these books, their lives will become perfect. Then he said half a verse. Then he said one line. Then he said one word. He said each word is transcendental, like that. I tell you, it's so purifying to be associating with these verses. You might say, well, why are you going so slowly? Sometimes it takes us like this last set of verses. It took us about 4 weeks to go through the verses, but each word is just packed up with nectar. We should actually go more slowly and just really learn how to relish it. There's so much nectar in these verses. And even if you don't understand what the word means, it's just so purifying. But if you do understand, it's even more better like that. But these scriptures Prabhupada has given us, we're just so fortunate. Prabhupada said he said these books are better than I am, which is a big statement. Better than having Prabhupada's physical association, which none of us got that. But we shouldn't feel bad that none of us had Prabhupada's physical association. He said,
in
my
dreams,
books are
yes.
better than me. He said, these books are my emotional ecstasies. Get that? My emotional ecstasies.
And Prabhupada knows he's not going to be forever, but book's going to be forever.
Yeah. This is his ecstasy, for his love for Krishna written down.
Yeah.
This is his purports, especially he's talking about his purports,
Absolutely.
Sometimes devotees would open up the room to see what Prabhupada was doing, and he was in the room. And one time they opened up the room and there was tears firing out of Prabhupada's eyes sideways, and the room was full of blinding light. And the devotees realized we're not supposed to be looking at this, so they shut the door again. So what possibly could make the room so full of blinding light?
That's the divine.
Krishna was in the room.
Yeah.
Only Krishna has that effulgence. That's like millions of suns.
But then
we can read
you
that
have
verse.
you have to have a divine eyes to look at, because the
To
Prabhupada
see.
disciple, they have got divine eyes. Because you and me,
No, they didn't see Krishna. All they saw was the light. So they weren't
Just
qualified to see where the light's coming
even
from. But
seeing the
Prabhupada
lights
was,
as well.
and that's why the tears were coming out sideways.
Yeah.
So let's read that verse talking about how bright
special
Krishna
is that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, very special. 8th chapter, text 7. 9. I think it's 8th chapter, text 9.
Deepa, what were you doing in 1977? Why don't you come and meet Prabhupada?
I tell you the number of times I have wished that,
And?
I say, how come I was small. I was very
He
small. I
doesn't
was
matter.
in
He
primary
came
school.
he came to Malaysia as well. You should
I
have to have a
didn't
glimpse
know.
of it.
Initially, when I would read the books, I wouldn't understand anything. I mean, now, okay, I understand a few things. But every time you read the same word, you get more out of it. But for some people,
Can you hear what Jaidi's saying?
Yes, it's like
Speak louder.
And for some people, within the first few times itself, that knowledge becomes very much apparent. What I'm trying to say is, the more you associate with the books, the more, like, gradually you start understanding more and more and more and more.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Because you're getting purified.
Yeah. But what I was saying is that, but there are some people, even within the first time itself, they get a lot out of it. I mean, with some people it may stick or not stick, I don't know. But with some people it sticks, and they're really into it, and they can understand. And it just struck me that, yeah, actually it's so true that for them the past life connection is so strong still, that they could actually get it very quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas for someone like me, I don't know. I mean, there must have been some past life connection,
Hmm.
but it still took me a long while to actually understand quite a lot of this knowledge.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, when I say understand in terms of practically applying it, I would say more.
Hmm. Okay, 8.9. Someone read that? Thank you. Didy's sharing her
Excellent.
emotional ecstasies.
It'd be nice if we could see you too.
Yeah.
It was nice the other
On the
week
phone.
when
On the
you're
phone.
on your
See
computer
her
as
loads of
well.
space.
One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature.
There you have it, luminous like the sun. So that's who was in the room. Krishna was in the room. He's the only one that's luminous like the sun.
But his devotee was so lucky to see that sun, which I can't see, you didn't see. Only those devotees seen that, how lucky they were.
I
That's
saw
also
this
Krishna.
Gulshan, I saw this quote by I can never say his name right. He's passed now. Kadama Swami.
Yeah.
Kadamba,
Kadamba.
Kanana.
Kadamba
Kanana.
Kanana Swami. And he said somebody had asked him if he'd ever seen Krishna's face when he was in the material world. Had he ever seen his face? And he said no, that he never saw his face, but that he saw his hand in all areas of his life. And I think that's something that, it was really beautiful, because it's something that, although we might not be able to see Krishna with imperfect senses or whatever, but we can still see his hand in all areas of our life.
You can see the Krishna sitting on the Abhicharan's tongue, and then he can read Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, he can't even read Bhagavad Gita.
You joker.
This is Krishna's word. You know, that's the thing. And so you can see Krishna right now.
Let's read another one about seeing Krishna. It's not so easy. Yeah, 11:54. Now 11:50. We might as well read it by 11:53 as well. Shall we let this Jayanti lady in?
Oh yes, why not?
She's a bit of a
Depends.
troublemaker.
She's
We've already got
very
one troublemaker, Gulshan. Shall we let another one in?
And join the.
Yes.
It's the
Maria.
three
Oh, you wanted
Indian
to move further
against
away. Can you go in the
three
room?
Indian against you two. You're not gonna chance to win.
She is a troublemaker now. It's giving feedback. Can you go in the room?
Oh, there she is. Hare Krishna.
She's the Gulshan of the female version.
Okay, now I'm
It's
signing
feedback.
up. Tata.
Okay.
The feedback was a
go?
bit annoying. No, it was feeding back because our devices are too close. Okay, can you read 53? 11:53 and 54.
The form you are seeing, which my eyesight's very bad. Somebody else.
The
please.
form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into mysteries of my understanding.
So this is the qualification to see Krishna, undivided devotional service.
But dissolve yourself to serving others.
We should read the last one too. It's beautiful. The next verse, 55. This is one of my favorite verses. It's really nice. Especially when Prabhupada, what he says in the purport.
My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotion service, free from the contamination of fruity activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly come to me without any doubt.
Go Shanuvacha. He added his bit on the end.
Look,
So
Krishna
yeah,
sitting
he's
on my
saying
tongue too.
By undivided devotional service, Krishna can be seen, and then he's unpacked that a bit more about what does that mean, undivided devotional service. So then he says, engages in my pure devotional service. And what is pure devotional service? There's no contamination of fruitive activities, it means material desires, or mental speculation. So these are two very important things. In order for it to be pure devotional service, there cannot be any material desires in it, and also speculation like that. And if you've done that, you're serving Krishna without any material desire, without any speculation, and that's pure devotional service. And then he says, he who works for me, makes me the supreme goal of his life, is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. And the purport, the first two lines of the purport are nectar. So we should read that. Bhakti Mala, do you want to read the first two lines until you've got to Bhagavad Gita?
Anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all the personalities of Godhead on the Krishna Loka planet in the spiritual sky and be intimately connected with the Supreme Personality Krishna must take this formula as stated by the Supreme himself. Therefore, this verse is to be considered to be the essence of the Bhagavad Gita.
How about this? This verse is to consider the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So what's the essence of Bhagavad Gita? That if you want to go back to Godhead and have intimate association with Krishna on the topmost planet, Goloka Vrindavan, then we have to take up this formula. So this is the formula. If you want to be associating intimately with Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan, the topmost planet in the spiritual world, this is the formula for that. And what's the formula? To engage in pure devotional service without any material desires and mental speculation. And to work for Krishna and be friendly to all living entities.
Very important. Friendly, all living
Make
entities.
him the supreme goal of his life.
Yes, very important. At the moment, I'm staying with one of the policemen. His wife is gone to her parents, so he said there's a room there, you can stay. I stay there, and slowly I bring my cooker and then cook the dal and things there and offer it and give it to him. And then yesterday he said something happening. I said, what happening? He said, I don't know. It's just something in me changing. I said, what happened? Yeah, that's the thing, the prasadam. He said, I wasn't like that. This. And then I said, look, you know what? This is prasadam. He said, what's going to do with that? I said, you're not going to understand. He's atheist, but he's getting it, but he don't know how.
Yeah.
And then I chanting there as well, and you can see my chanting being there hanging on the door. And then, so it's just like his wife going to come, I think this week, then I'll be out of the house. But I just cook and all that. He said, I want to cook the same. I said, yeah, go and cook, man. That's it.
Nice.
So hopefully, slowly he's going to come down. I took him to temple as well. Anyway.
Lovely.
Back to the verse today. Back to the verse of the day.
Yeah. So we're starting our verse today, reading from Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, the opposite absolute, text number 7. So text 6 was telling about how the universe began, all these mental sons of Lord Brahma. the 7 great sages and 4 other sages. That means the 4 Kumaras, like that. And I told you about how Lord Shiva got born from Lord Brahma's forehead when he got angry. When he told his 4 Kumaras to get married and expand the population, they refused and said, we want to stay brahmacharis. So he got angry, and then out of his forehead, Brahma's forehead, Lord Shiva appeared like that. And then one day he was in a very transcendental state of mind, and then Narada Muni came out of his mind as well, like that. So this is how the universe began, with these great personalities. So it didn't begin from a big bang and start off with just things crawling under the water, and then they crawled out of the water. And, you know, the modern idea is it started off very basic. The universe started off with very basic, unintelligent creatures. But the Vedic understanding is the opposite. It started off with the most intelligent creatures. Started off with the most intelligent living entities, like that. And from the very beginning, like that. And also that there's life on all the planets. That's what we get from this also. Because these beings are all on different planets. They're on higher planets. Like Lord Brahma lives on the highest planet, Brahmaloka. And underneath that, then there's 7 planets where these Sapta Rishis, these 7 sages live. They all have their own planets. Bhrigu and like that, Angira, like that. They all have their own planets like that. And so they all live on different planets. So yeah, there's life, intelligent life on all different planets.
And we're just passing through this planet. We're just passing through this planet 80 years, if we're lucky.
Yeah, a very short time. And each soul is going up and down the universe, all different places, up and down.
That's right.
Up and down.
Yes.
And that's written in 8th chapter of text, 15 or so, about how we go up and down, and it's all places of suffering wherever we go. It's about 8:15, 14 or 15. Oh yeah, 16, 8:16. Can read that one.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attain in my abode, O son of Kunti, never take birth again.
So the living entity is taking birth right from the top to the bottom, and where suffering is going on even people have a desire, like Hindus, right, have a desire to go to heaven, right? But according to this, even in heaven is suffering. Even in heaven, there's no point going to heaven. This is as bad as here. There's just different kinds of suffering, you know. So in hell it's suffering, in heaven it's suffering. People go, oh, I don't want to go to hell, it's suffering there, I want to go to heaven. But they don't realize there's suffering in heaven too.
We are already in the hell.
But we're very fortunate to be here on earth, because although there's suffering on earth, but here is a very good situation, because we just had Krishna has appeared on this earth 5,000 years ago. Then Lord Chaitanya came 500 years ago. So many of the incarnations of the Lord come on this earth. And of course, all the great devotees that are devoted to the Lord in these different incarnations, they're also here. And the Lord's holy places are here, and Mahaprasadam is here. Even in other planets, it's hard to get Mahaprasadam.
You know,
but here, like you go to Jagannath Puri, you can get tons of Mahaprasadam.
Yeah.
Or you can go, you know, so many places.
Yeah.
Dwaraka and get Mahaprasadam. Tirupati is giving out. Every day they give out 50 to 100,000 plates of Mahaprasadam every day. On a special day, that's an ordinary day. On a special day, they give out 500,000 plates of Mahaprasadam.
Only in this
so
planet.
Prasadam is coming out of people's ears here. Like that, but in other places it's very hard to get Mahaprasadam.
And then we can't get Abhicharan in other places either. We can only in planet Earth.
Stop talking nonsense, Gulshan.
Only on
I'm telling you the truth.
Only on Teams, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Thanks.
When the sun comes and shines, nobody can stop his rise. He's shining, no one can stop. Unstoppable. Okay, let's read.
Okay. Yes. Etam vibhutam yogam cha, text 7.
aitam vibhutam yogam cha.
Mamayo veti tatvata.
Mamayo veti tatvata.
So vikalpena yogena.
So
Suvikalpena
vikalpita
yogina
yogena.
Yujate natra samshaya.
yujate
Yujitate
natra
natra
samshaya.
sanshaya. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this, there is no doubt.
This is a very important verse because it explains something that is very good to know. What is it? What is this telling us, this verse? What is this telling us? It tells us why a person does not engage in devotional service. And it tells us why a person does engage in devotional service. What's the difference? Why someone does engage in devotional service, someone doesn't? What's the difference?
It's simple.
And because is it because Krishna likes some living entities and he gives them devotional service, and Krishna doesn't like other living entities, so he doesn't give it to them? So is it because God is partial that he gives somebody love for him, loving service to him, and other people he doesn't give it?
God is not partial.
We have to acknowledge that Krishna, there is that Krishna is real, and that is, have the faith.
She just gone there.
Faith based on what?
Knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah, knowledge. Those persons that have knowledge of Krishna, they definitely will surrender to Krishna and engage in devotional service. And those people that remain ignorant of Krishna, well, they're not going to serve Krishna, obviously, like that.
And where the knowledge comes from?
That is very important.
Bhakti
Our
Mala,
worst enemy is ignorance.
Wanted to say something. Did I cut you off? Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say exactly what you said. It worked out
Same
well.
wavelength.
Where the knowledge comes from? It's an association.
Our best friend is knowledge, and our worst enemy is ignorance. Yeah. Even Lord Shiva says that in the 4th canto Bhagavatam, that one can cross over this miserable material world on the boat of transcendental knowledge. On the boat of transcendental knowledge. He compares it to a boat, because this material world is compared to a very dangerous ocean. Imagine, even if you're a good swimmer, imagine if you're dropped in the middle of the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. How would you do?
Oh, ocean will do. I can't do anything. Ocean will do.
You're a goner, mate. Even you're a number one world swimming champion. In the middle of the ocean, you're a goner. The sharks are going to nibble your toes to start with.
Ta-da, ta-da.
And then it's all over, So it's very dangerous if you're in the middle of the ocean. So the material is compared to a big, dangerous ocean. And then how do you get over the ocean? You have to be in a boat, So this is the boat of transcendental knowledge will help us cross this dangerous ocean of the material world like that. And but what kind of knowledge? Is it the knowledge you get from your parents, the knowledge you get from school? No, that's not knowledge. According to the Vedas, that's actually ignorance. Because it's what we get taught is all about related to the body and sense gratification. Modern education, what is it all about? It's only for one purpose, to get you a job. That piece of paper at the end of it, after 15 years, the best part of your life, they give you a piece of paper, is to help you get a job. And what's the purpose of getting a job? Is to get money. And what's the purpose of getting money? Is to satisfy your senses. But according to the Vedas, that's ignorance. Human life's not meant for just satisfying your senses. Then the animals satisfy their senses without getting educated, without wasting their life, like that. The cows are satisfied. Look out the window every day and see the cows, eating and jumping on each other and all kind of things like that. So, and that's without any wasting any time. A human being spends so much time just for the same purpose, just for sense gratification. So this is the real knowledge, is knowledge of what? Is Krishna's opulence, to understand Krishna's opulence and mystic power. And what is that what does that mean, Krishna's opulence is a mystic power? Well, we've already been reading about it. So what is Krishna's opulence and mystic power? Well, look at text 2. So what we've been reading thus far is all about Krishna's opulences and mystic powers. So what do we learn in text 2? What's the opulence there? The opulence is that Krishna's so great that even the great demigods and sages, they don't have a clue who he is. They don't understand him. That's how great Krishna is. Even the greatest brains in the universe, they have no clue who Krishna is. They don't understand because Krishna was existing before them. Krishna was existing before them. Like, does any of us, can you give me detailed information about your great grandfather?
All I can say, human.
Yeah, we don't know any details because he was existing way before us. You know, so Krishna was existing way before even the demigods and great sages, so they don't understand him. You know, so this is how opulent Krishna is. He's so great, he's far beyond even the great mega brains in the universe, like that.
And then
in text 3,
yes,
what's his opulence and mystic power here? That he has no birth, and that's a real mind bender, isn't it? Because everyone has a birth. You know, I have a birth, you have a birth, everyone has a birth. But it's here Krishna's unborn, and we all have a beginning and an end. But Krishna has no beginning, so there definitely doesn't have an end. If it says here he's beginningless, that also means he has no end. Anything that has a beginning has an end. But Krishna doesn't have a beginning, so he doesn't have an end. So that's real opulence. That's something very special. And he's the supreme Lord of all the worlds. You know, that's power. He's the controller, the master, the Lord of everything, of all the worlds. And just by knowing those things, that Krishna is unborn, beginningless, and the supreme Lord, that person gets free from sin. How about that? I mean, just by knowing those things about Krishna, you yourself become free from all sins. That's opulence. That's Krishna's opulence. Just by knowing him, you get delivered. You get freed. So not only is Krishna free, but just if you know him, you become free. That's how much purity Krishna possesses. And then text 4 and 5 says that all these different qualities in the universe, like intelligence, knowledge, truthfulness, control the mind, birth and death and fear, everything like that, satisfaction, austerity, they all come from Krishna. So Krishna is the source of everything, like that. Krishna is the source of everything. And then text 6, even the persons that started the universe off, they're all coming from Krishna. So these are Krishna's opulence. So if people know about these things, what's going to be the result of knowing these things? Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. I surrender to you. You are the supreme personality of Godhead. And that's Arjuna's realization, which we read before in text 12 and 13. This is after hearing all of these opulences and mystic powers from Krishna himself, then what was Arjuna's realization? In 12 and 13, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages, such as Narada, Sita, Deva, Vyasa, to confirm this truth about you, and now you are declaring it to me. You know, so this is so important. The more we hear about Krishna, just how great Krishna is, then the natural result of having all this knowledge about Krishna is that we'll surrender to Krishna and then engage in devotional service. Why someone doesn't engage in devotional service, it's not necessarily because they're a bad person, but because they're ignorant of these important things. They're ignorant of just how great Krishna is. They're ignorant of Krishna's position as a supreme personality of Godhead. Prabhupada often said that religions, they all talk about God as great. But Prabhupada's criticism was, but these religions, they do not know just how great he is. They all go around saying God is great, Allah Akbar, but they don't know just how great he is. That he's unborn, beginningless, the source of all the demigods. Even the demigods and sages don't know about him. He's the Lord of all the worlds, and he's the source of intelligence and knowledge and forgetfulness and pleasure and pain and good and evil and happiness and distress and all these kind of things. So all these details they don't know. But once we know all these details, then that will lead us to surrendering and engaging in devotional service.
What's the extra noise coming? It's a bit extra noise.
There's a bit of ruffling going on someone's
Yeah.
microphone.
Yeah, okay, could be. Unless mine.
Okay. And Krishna says, so one is factually convinced. So that's an important point too. So not just theoretically you've heard it, but actually convinced. That you're actually convinced that Krishna is unborn, the beginningless, the Lord of all the worlds. He's the source of all the demigods and forefathers of the universe, that he's the source of all the qualities that make up the universe. One's actually convinced like that. Because a lot of people, they might have heard some of these things, but they're not convinced. They have doubts. They have doubts. But factually convinced means there's no more doubts. Is Krishna really God? Or maybe he's God, maybe he's not God. That means you're not convinced, right? Maybe he's God, maybe he's not God. Maybe I'm a soul, maybe I'm not a soul. I mean, if you think maybe, that you're not convinced yet. But actually, yes, Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead. And I am his eternal servant. So there's conviction there like that. So once we get to that point, then we'll engage in unalloyed devotional service. Until that point, we're sort of sitting on the fence. Oh, sometimes I might chant a bit. Sometimes I'll do some devotional service. Means we're not fully convinced. We might have heard something. You have a little bit of knowledge, but we're not fully convinced yet. But once you're fully convinced, then we'll completely surrender, engage in devotional service. So it's not something that's just going to happen in 2 seconds. That conviction has to build up. Does that make sense? So it's not just that you've got some knowledge. Okay, that's very good. But you have some knowledge, but there's still some doubts, in your heart. But when you keep hearing, and then you practice what you're hearing, applying it, you're getting some experience, some realization, then the doubts are getting pushed out. Like when the sun hasn't fully come up over the horizon yet, but it is coming up, and the first rays of light are there in the early morning, and so the sun is coming, but it hasn't fully arisen in the sky yet, and there's still a little bit of darkness there at that time. That's called twilight, right? That's called twilight. It hasn't fully come up in the sky, but the first rays of light are there and pushing back the darkness. So that's like you've heard something about God, about Krishna, but you still have some doubts. So there's still a bit of darkness there. Doubts are compared to darkness. It's ignorance. So there's still a bit of ignorance in your consciousness. You're not fully convinced yet. But when the sun fully comes up in the sky, there's no darkness, isn't it? As soon as the sun fully comes up in the sky, then there's no darkness. So that's like that conviction. There's no ignorance left. Has been pushed away. And how to get rid of those doubts? You just have to keep hearing. Get more knowledge, and slowly that will push back those doubts that have arisen because of ignorance. Where do doubts come from? They come from ignorance. So and we all have so many doubts. As we doubt that Krishna is God, we doubt that we're a soul, that when we still might think we're the body. So we might have doubts that are we really a soul? Is Krishna really the Supreme Person of Godhead? We have doubts that we have doubt that if I chant Hare Krishna, will I go back to Godhead? We doubt that, If
A
I
great,
just
great sage Arjuna has got a doubts too in chapter 2. Then
he
he
has so
doubts
many
the-
doubts, and Krishna is constantly smashing his
Yeah.
doubts with this
Yeah.
knowledge, you know.
Well,
And
that's
by
what
the
you're
end,
doing with us. Thank you.
and so we can read, you know, after Arjuna has heard more and more and more from Krishna, and by text 73 of the 18th chapter, finally, he says all his doubts have gone away.
Yeah.
It's taken 18 chapters of hearing from Krishna.
Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, oh infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instructions. If you would have to tell that in chapter 2, it'll be all done easy.
Yeah, but Arjuna has so many doubts.
Of course.
Had so many doubts at that point. So slowly his doubts are going, you know. So just like Arjuna had to keep hearing more and more from Krishna until finally all the doubts are gone, and then he surrendered. And then he said, yeah, okay, I'll fight. And,
Last night, in my dream, somebody break my Tulsi bead necklace. Somebody just pulled it. And it just, I'm going to do that now again. Or maybe get that a new one.
in your dream, it got
Yeah.
broken, but actually it was broken.
It is broken.
Okay.
Somebody did. I don't know who was it last night. But it's okay. I'm still going to go Bhagavad Gita. It's okay. No problem.
But you should get it fixed as soon as possible.
Yeah, or maybe fix, or maybe I'll get that another one from the Bhakti tree, because all the beads are just coming out. I collect all that, put in the napkin. Then I need that a new thread and needle to do that.
Oh, that's
anyway.
too difficult. Too difficult.
Yeah,
too
so
difficult.
I'll get that.
So the only you could take it to India and someone will fix it for you there, but I wouldn't try to fix it. It's too difficult.
No,
They're masters, you know,
Of
at
course.
fixing all those things there.
Yes.
You know, like that. They're highly specialized.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be at the Bhakti tree tomorrow. If you want to call in, I'll be there tomorrow at some stage. So just give me a call in the morning and
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I would get that fixed ASAP. One time a disciple's neck beads got broken, and the Prabhupada said, where are your neck beads? And the devotee said, they got broken, and I'll sort something out. Prabhupada said, if you knew how dangerous it is to be in this material world without neck beads, you would get them sorted out immediately.
Yes.
Immediately. I mean, you wouldn't believe how much protection we get from accidental death, you know, so many things, from ghosts, you know, from so many things by wearing these neck beads. They protect us from so many bad things.
Definitely.
And it's very dangerous to not have neck beads on. So that was interesting. Prabhupada said that. If you knew how dangerous it is to not have neck beads, you would fix them immediately like that.
Yeah. Okay. Can I read the purport?
Yeah, let's read the purport.
Okay. You and me or someone else?
you read
So-
if you want.
Okay. The
What's
highest, the highest summit of spiritual perfection is knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unless one is firmly convinced of the different opulences of the Supreme Lord, he cannot engage in devotion service. Generally, people know that God is great, but they do not know in detail how God is great. Here is the details. If one knows factually how God is great, then naturally he becomes a surrendered soul of engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord. When one factually knows the opulences of the Supreme, there is no alternative but to surrender to him. This factual knowledge can be known from the description in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and similar literatures. Continue or stop?
Bhakti Mala, do you want to read the next one?
In the administration of this universe, there are many demigods distributed throughout the planetary system, and the chief of them are Brahma, Lord Shiva and the 4 Kumaras and the other patriarchs. There are many forefathers of the population of the universe, and all of them are born of the Supreme Lord Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the original forefather of all forefathers.
Continue.
These are some of the opulences of the Supreme Lord. When one is firmly convinced of them, he accepts Krishna with great faith and without any doubt, and he engages in devotional service. All this particular knowledge is required in order to increase one's interest in the loving devotional service of the Lord. One should not neglect to understand fully how great Krishna is, for by knowing the greatness of Krishna, one will be able to be fixed in sincere devotional service.
Very important. Why does it say this line, when one factually, in the first paragraph, when one factually knows the opulences of the Supreme, there is no alternative but to surrender to him? Why is that? Why is there no alternative? When one factually knows the opulences of the Supreme, there is no alternative but to surrender to him.
Because he's got everything. And he's the one who's got everything. So then what's the point in going to anybody else? So you have to surrender to him.
Because you can't argue.
Because he's got everything.
Because he's God, Bhagavan. Once you understand he's the one who has all the opulences in full, then there's no point surrendering to anybody else.
And you
Because
can't
he's the one
argue.
Yeah, but why is it saying there's no alternative? Basically, you have to.
You can't argue against any of it.
No, I don't understand your question.
If one factually knows how, when one factually knows the opulences of the Supreme, there is no alternative but to surrender to him.
Once you know the opulences, that means like that's 18th chapter of Arjuna, 67. He's got to know other way just to surrender. Because opulence, once you know that, that means job done, deal done. That's it, surrender. Only you don't surrender because you don't know.
Why?
What do you mean? There's no questions after that. Once you know the opulences,
that's what I'm not understanding too. I mean, he's the possessor of everything.
Okay. Look at the next verse. Turn the page. Text 8. This is the first of the seed verses.
I am the source of all spiritual material world. Everything emanates
They're
from
very
me.
dear to me.
This wise perfectly knows and engage in my devotional service here. All with me, all their hearts. Okay.
So Krishna's saying here, I'm the source of everything, right? Everything emanates from me. So where are you going to run away and hide if you don't want to surrender? he's everywhere, he's everything. And that's, like we can go 7.5, 7.4 and 5.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energy. Beside this, O mighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprise the living entity who are exploiting the resources of the material inferior nature.
So in text 4, Krishna says that all matter is his energy, everything. the house, the car, the phone, your body, you know, everything, the glasses, your clothes is made up of earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intelligence, and false ego. There's nothing other than that. And then the only other thing other than that in the material world is the soul. And all of that, Krishna's saying, is my energy. So everything in the material world is Krishna's energy. So where can you go to escape? Everything is Krishna. Everything is Krishna. Everything is Krishna's energy. So Krishna and Krishna's energy, you can't separate them. It's like the sunlight is the energy of the sun and the sun planet, right? So there's where are you going to go? You can't escape Krishna. So you just, once you know this, you just surrender. And then 7.19, go a bit further. 7.19.
After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrender unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare.
So when your knowledge is full, jnanavan, then what's the result? Prapadyante, surrender. So what is that? What is that full knowledge? Vasudeva Savam Eti. That Vasudeva, another name of Krishna. Vasudeva means all pervading, by the way. So Vasudeva is the name of Krishna, which means all pervading. So once one knows that Vasudeva Krishna is everywhere, Sarvam means everything, then once one knows that, then Prapadyante follows. So surrender follows knowing that there's nothing other than Krishna. There's nothing other than Krishna. There's that's why Prabhupada says there's no alternative but to surrender after one has that full knowledge, you know.
But the vast majority of people are not, they are doing their own thing, they're not convinced, and
because ignorance,
they're not, yeah,
knowledge.
but it's, and Krishna has given us that. I mean, he wants it to be our free choice to come back to him.
Yes.
And how will, the thing is, for people to be factually convinced, they have to find out themselves, but they are just so all over the place. They're not they're not coming to him. And if you try and tell them or even have a conversation, it becomes a big deal.
Yeah, because they're in Maya, and that's what Maya means. Maya means thinking there's something that's not Krishna. What is the definition of Maya? What does illusion Maya mean? Maya means illusion. What does illusion mean? Maya is also an energy of Krishna, because remember, there's nothing that's not Krishna. But Maya means in our mind, we're thinking there's something that's not Krishna. That's what the definition of Maya is. Illusion means thinking there's something that's not Krishna. That's what Maya is. But there's nothing that's not Krishna, as it's saying here. Krishna's saying everything comes from me in the spiritual material worlds. But just that idea it's existing only in our mind that we're thinking there's something that's not Krishna. Everything is Krishna, the earth, the water, the fire, the air, the mind. Even the mind is Krishna's energy. Even the mind is Krishna's energy. But in our crazy mind, which is also Krishna's energy, we can be thinking that this is not Krishna. But actually everything is Krishna. But once one has that full knowledge and knows that everything around me, inside and outside, is Krishna's energy, then naturally one surrenders. So that knowledge. So Maya can only continue in our ignorance, in our own ignorance, you know. Even ignorance is an energy of Krishna. And that energy of Krishna is there for those souls that have rebelled against Krishna, that have turned away from Krishna. That's and like you said, Deepa, we have that free choice. So, you know, Krishna gives us that free choice, you know. Even we ourselves, we're part of Krishna. We're not separate from Krishna. But Krishna has free choice, right? He's got unlimited free choice. And as part of Krishna, we have minute free choice. So Krishna doesn't interfere with that free choice. You can serve him or not serve him. That's your free choice, you know. But once we have that full knowledge,
he allows, whether he allows us to pass through the gate to know him, I think he does have that influence, not, or he's the, I mean, I'm saying he's the gatekeeper, but, you know, in the sense, you know, whether one can know him or, you know, be acquainted with him, it's his, yeah, it's, I guess, whether we actually qualify to whatever extent to know him, isn't it?
Well,
so what's blocking the soul knowing him in the material world? Do you know what's blocking?
Ego.
It's our own desires and our own choices.
Particularly, what choices are blocking us, keeping us in ignorance? Sinful choices. Let's look at 7 point. Let's just finish off 7 point. It's all on the 7th chapter today. 7.27 and 7.28.
O Scion, O Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by duality arisen from desire and hate. And next one,
and in the purport, let's just read the purport, a little bit of the purport.
The real constitutional position of living entities, that of subordination to the Supreme Lord, who is
which
pure
means we're a
knowledge.
servant. Yeah.
Who is pure knowledge. When one is deluded into separation from this pure knowledge, he becomes controller by the illusionary energy and cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The illusionary energy is manifested in the duality of desire and hate. Due to desire and hate, the ignorant person wants to become one who with the Supreme Lord and envies Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
We can stop there. Stop there. So that's powerful. Due to desire and hate, the ignorant person wants to become one with the Supreme Lord. So that's the desire. So the dualities are desire and hate, right? Desire and hate, that's the duality. So what is the desire, though? The desire is wants to become one with the Supreme Lord. So we want to be God. That's the desire. And what's the hate? Envies Krishna as the Supreme Person of Godhead. So we hate Krishna. Why do people hate Krishna? Because we want to be Krishna. That's why we hate him. Because he has the position that we want. He's God, but we want to be God. So we want to be God, so we want to get rid of him. So why is it so many people will not accept that Krishna is God? Because deep down in their heart, they want to be God. Deep down in their heart, they want to be God. That's why we present with so much logic and reasoning and argument and everything that Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead, that we're his eternal servant. But there's a lot of people, they will not accept that. Why won't they accept that? Because deep down in their heart, they have a strong desire and they want to be God. And Krishna has the position that they want, so they hate him. Okay, so let's finish off with the next verse. Text 28.
28. The person who have acted wisely in previous life and in this life and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with the determination.
So that's interesting because it's tying it in with today's one about that if we are factually convinced about this opulence and mystic power of Krishna, then we'll engage in devotional service. There's no doubt about that. So this is also concluding with the same thing about engaging themselves in my service, but it's adding in the words determination. So how is it that one can engage in service? This is if they've acted piously in this life and previous lives, and no more sinful actions. So this is what's blocking us and keeping us at ignorance, is sinful actions. Therefore, at the very beginning of coming to Krishna consciousness, what does the spiritual master tell us to do? No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. Because this is the sinful actions. And these sinful actions, they keep us away from understanding God. They keep us away from understanding God. You tell these people, that Krishna's God, that we're his servant, but they can't understand because they eat meat, they drink, have illicit sex, gamble, all these things. So that these sinful actions are keeping us away from understanding that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is our master and that we're his eternal servant. So these are the prerequisites, qualifications for understanding Krishna.
My battery is getting low. I think I need to go.
Well done. You made it.
Okay.
You made it through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Hare
And
Krishna.
get your neck beads sorted out.
I
Remember,
will
sort it out ASAP.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gulshan.
Why did he have to run off?
He forgot his charger and his battery was, but time's up anyway, so
yeah.
that's all right.
Thank you so much,
That's
Hare
all right.
Krishna.
That's all right. Hare Krishna.